Hi guys, I'm back with your daily video on assumptions. I'm going to be focusing on romantic partners, specific person, and your soulmate. Mainly because everyone is, you pushed out. We have Valentine's Day coming. I want to get you guys in an abundant state, and I want you to realize that the only way for you to experience it is by realizing that your mind has to focus on what it is that you desire and you already having it in this moment, okay? So I want you to realize that you're choosing your states, you're choosing the way someone shows up for you, and you're choosing the version of you that either is getting it or not getting it. And I want to point out some key factors in regards to if things have not shifted yet, it's because you're not in the assumption consistently, you're complaining, you're in a victim mentality, or you have some sort of doubt and limiting belief and maybe some resistance. So any of those. In order to change that, you need to be focusing exactly on what it is that you desire and not letting anything deter you. So what are you aware of? What are you aware of that you're thinking about your person? If things are not how you want them to be, if you're not in a healthy, loving, romantic place yet, what are you thinking about them? And what are you thinking about yourself? Because whatever you're thinking about is your dominant state, your dominant feeling, and then that's reflected back. So you have to be really honest with yourself. Do you believe that what you think creates your reality, that creates your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions? Do you believe that? Because if you don't believe that, then there's resistance. So you need to figure out where it is that you're maybe causing this resistance to having this relationship, this person show up the way you want, and maybe something from your past, some old belief system, something, okay? Whatever you're aware of and whatever you're thinking is what's manifesting. So if you're having a hard time manifesting a specific person, it's because somewhere inside your mind, you think that's difficult. When you no longer give power to the 3D and you realize that you're the one that's creating it, you're going to remove all resistance. Things are going to start to shift much quicker for you. Specifically, stop discussing it with other people. That's number one. When I was working on repairing my romantic relationship and we were apart in the 3D, I realized a lot of people who, maybe care for you say negative things, have negative opinions, have negative assumptions because of their own, limiting beliefs. So I made my mind decide that I was not going to listen to anything that was happening coming at me, and I was going to decide what I was saying to myself was the only reality. And as soon as I did that, things shifted within 2 days. It was super quick. I felt it in my body. As soon as my mind would not receive any other information except what I was assuming to be true, things shifted and moved very quickly, and we reconciled, and things are much more solid than they ever were before. If you can't figure out where your blocks are, where your resistance is, and you want coaching, I guarantee you, as soon as you figure it out, you'll be with your person. It's not that complicated. The only part that becomes complicated is when you're not realizing that you're doing it, that you have the ability to deny yourself whatever it is that you actually want, because you're thinking that someone outside of you has some sort of power, or you're waiting for the 3D to change, which creates more waiting, and more time. When you simply decide and you stick to that and you don't waver, then things start to shift and you start to see things in a softer way, in a more playful way, and it's not so serious and it's not so painful. There's a lot of healing that occurs also when you realize like you're creating, because you can kind of like have fun with it and do like little experiments, depending on, you know, what you are trying to heal or create in your life. And this is the same thing with manifesting money or, you know, things that you want to come in, jobs, opportunities, anything like that, because you're switching your frequency as well and your energy, and you're doing a lot of healing, and you become more magnetic as you realize like you don't need outside validation. You don't need someone to tell you something about yourself because you already know it to be true inside. For example, someone I was working with, you know, was looking for all this validation in men outside herself. And someone told her like, oh, you know, you're really classy. And, you know, he was saying all these compliments to her and she really was like obsessed with getting these outside compliments. But when you look for that or you need that, you're giving your power away. You don't need the compliments to come from outside yourself. You already know inside who you are. So I want you to start to realize that no one can define you outside. Only you can define yourself. No one can make you feel good from outside yourself. Only you can make yourself feel good. So lose that perception that you need someone to tell you that you're beautiful, that you're classy, that you have a nice body, whatever it is. You don't need that. You need to feel that inside. And then whoever it is, you'll draw in the right person. When you look